Right now, say I want Josh Taylor and get the Josh Taylor fight because he's April. That's right. So anybody on that pipeline right now, that's a big deal.
I talked to Zach, but the same day that James Tony came in and signed the contract.
Wow.
So I'm talking to Burrow on the phones like this. Look, man, I got Zab on one phone, I got James on one phone.
What is Crawford going to do before? He's going to beat Sean. Everybody listen, he's going to beat Sean. He's going to beat Sean. He's going to beat Sean.
Mike Lewis is the perfect example of what I'm talking about.
Yo. Welcome to Let's Talk Sports, y'all. Hope everybody's having a wonderful, wonderful Monday. Praying for all those out there. But before we get started, let me start this show by saying we remember those today. We remember 9/11 today. 2001, 22 years ago. One of the biggest tragedies that ever hit this earth. We're always being embedded in the history of this country and the history of many of our lives. Also, for all my family members, I want to say R.I.P. to Quan Wood Jr., my brother Joe, and sister Keisha. Definitely keep y'all in my prayers, and the rest of the family as we go through this difficult time. Also, happy heavenly birthday, Big Cuz, and all the family members. Hope everybody check it in. But let's get into it. We're gonna get into. I know people used to the boxing talks, but we're gonna get into all sports. We're gonna chop it up about Coach Prime. Coach Prime in Colorado improved to 2-0 with a dominating win over Nebraska. And, of course, we've seen Texas upset Alabama. But, right now the biggest talk in college football definitely is the emergence of Colorado and the success that just continues the overflow from Coach Prime, Deion Sanders. And then a lot of people think that Travis Hunter, as well as his son Shador, could clearly be up for a Heisman as the success continues. So we just hope that they keep on doing what they're doing. And, it's an amazing story. It's an amazing story for somebody that just got into coaching. He did what he did at Jackson State, and then to go to Colorado and just take off. And like I said, and they're beating, the big name schools. So right pretty soon, what up, baby? We're gonna get to that. You know what I mean? But what you think about them last night? 40-0. It's one game. But I didn't see that coming, but definitely it was a dominant performance. You know what I mean? Between that and the 49ers and what the 49ers did to Pittsburgh, those were like the two most dominant performances of the game. Then of course, we had the shootout. Out there between the Chargers and the Dolphins, but we're gonna get into each and every one of these games because week one is almost in the books. We got one more game tonight, but when those are typing in who y'all predict to win tonight, the Jets or Buffalo. You know what I mean? So started out Thursday with the shocking upset of Detroit over Kansas City, but Detroit was a formidable foe last year. They had a winning record. They was a tough out for a lot of teams last year. This year they improved, got better in a lot of places, but also that Kansas City was definitely highly compromised without Travis Kelce. And then I don't know what was going on with Kadarius Toney. Kadarius Toney may have had the worst game of his career, and then the worst game of many people's career. You know what I mean? Because he had the drop that turned into the pick six, and then he had a couple key drops that cost him the game. So at the end of the day, we seen a lot of teams that was top last year, especially on the AFC side. Cincinnati took a step back, Kansas City took a step back, and they're both kind of banged up because we know Joe Burrow is still dealing with the injury that hampered him throughout the whole preseason. So here's the thing. The question for them and the question for that situation is, how long does this linger? Because for Joe Burrow, Baltimore has got better. Cleveland is definitely better. So Joe Burrow, Joe Burrow's injury may linger too long, and it may have them take a step back this year, which I predict. I predict Cincinnati will take a step back this year, not because of anything other than the fact that Joe Burrow's injury, and it's going to be harder and harder for them to get into the flow of things. And this year is one of those years, barring that nothing happens to Cleveland in terms of Deshaun Watson, and barring nothing happens to Baltimore in terms of Lamar Jackson. If those teams stay relatively happy, it's going to be kind of hard for Joe Burrow them to catch up. They may be able to fight their way to a wild card, but it looks like it's going to be a tough out over there. It's a lot of tough teams over there. So it might be a tough out for Cincinnati. They might squeak out a wild card, but I don't see them having the success they had in the previous years, which could be the same thing for we could be saying the same thing about Kansas City, because they kind of played that Travis Kelce injury they kind of kept it, he's okay, he may play, and then pulled him out at the last minute. So, and hyperextended knee. So, that's something that I'm getting there, man. I'm getting there. Appreciate it. Appreciate you, man. Just want to get up and talk a little football for a minute, man. But yeah, I'm gonna hit you up in a few minutes, in a little bit though. But yeah, we getting there. We getting there. What up, though? Unless you want to talk some football, you could, you definitely welcome. But then we got like I said, Kansas City and Cincinnati just week 1. That's not overreact. Remember last year Cincinnati started 0-2. But last year, like I said, Deshaun Watson was gone for 11 weeks. Then later on in the year, Lamar Jackson went down. I don't see you getting that cushion of being able to just catch up to those teams this year, especially if you start 0-2. So, and like I said, I think Cleveland or Baltimore wins that division. And I think either one of them will be strong enough to challenge whoever's in the AFC for a chance to go to the show. So that's something to keep a close eye on. Miami and San Diego had a real shootout. Now the question coming to play is, are those offenses that good or are those defenses that bad? We don't know. We're going to have to wait to see. But we do know both of them have real firepower, because that was definitely the game of the day, the game of the week in terms of back and forth, and it was an unbelievable shootout. You know what I mean? 36-34, Tua threw for 466. For those that had fantasy, that had them on your fantasy team, know you won your fantasy game. So that was definitely what Philly was up 16-0. New England scrapped and fought their way back in the game. Really had a chance to still win the game. Like I said, everybody, it's just week 1. A lot of teams getting the kinks out. A lot of people, for some players, this is their preseason, the first week or two. So we're not going to hold them to the fire. But we did see them take some rib shots yesterday, and we seen some things that look a little tender yesterday. You know what I mean? Hunter Henry was having a game. Matt Jones got the cooking. That defense was able to figure out what they was doing, But at the end, when it came down to it, Fletcher Cox and those guys, Brandon Graham and the experienced guys of Philadelphia, was able to step up and get it done. But it's just something to keep a close eye on, man. It's only week 1. I'm not gonna make no who's going to the Super Bowl or who's going to win no division picks right now, but just things we keep an eye on. Shocker to me, Tampa Bay was able to shock Minnesota. That was kind of shocking. Didn't expect, I mean, you know, Baker Mayfield is hit or miss. We don't know what we feel about Baker Mayfield. You know, nothing against him, but you know, a lot of commercials, not a lot of success. But he seemed to since he left Cleveland to really be like on this side, he's really playing hard for the teams he playing for, and he was definitely able to hook up with Mike Evans enough times yesterday to pull out a win over Minnesota. So, you know, look like Tampa Bay is not ready to be written out of the NFC South, the NFC South picture just yet. You know what I mean? Even though many of us picked like New Orleans, who was able to outslug Tennessee 16-15, you know, Dirk Carr and Chris Olave got the cooking and they was connecting. But like I said, they did enough to get the dub 16-15 over New Orleans. Them two teams, we really don't know what Tennessee team we're going to get this year. But anyway, they was able to go ahead and get it done. Trevor Lawrence was able to outlast Richardson and the Indianapolis Colts. So that was another one. Then we got San Francisco, who Brock Purdy is appearing to be a baller. Brock Purdy is definitely appearing to be a baller, and he's definitely out here, you know, letting it be known that last year was not just a fluke, you know, because Pittsburgh is one of the better defenses in the league. That was T.J. Watt and them out there yesterday. That's one of the better defenses in the league, regardless of what's going on. And for Christian McCaffrey and Brock Purdy and Ayuk and the rest of them just go up and down the field the way they did, it's still impressive. Brock Purdy is definitely somebody to be that you got to deal with. And 49ers from week one are showing that they're picking up where they left off, and they're definitely going to be a tough out, a formidable foe, and definitely should be considered a Super Bowl contender. You know, Jordan Love. We outgunned Justin Fields. Wasn't what I thought. I expected more from Justin Fields and DJ Moore yesterday. I definitely expected more from them yesterday, but taking that away from Jordan Love, he looked the part of the few times he got on the field over the years, but he definitely showed that he's ready to be the starting quarterback, you know, in this league and go out there and, you know, let's see. You got to see what happens. You know what I mean? So right now they won that one game. So Minnesota got Philly next week. Very easy. They could be 0-2. So Detroit, Green Bay got golden opportunities next week. The stake they claim as, you know, as they press to see if one of them can take the division back. You know what I mean? But like I said, Jordan Love definitely put his best foot forward. We got to see more, you know. Definitely expecting more from Justin Fields. I expected more from Justin Fields and DJ Moore, but you know, let's see how it plays out. Was a little disappointed in the result of the Denver and Oakland. They are definitely division rivals and always like to go at each other, but I did expect a little bit more from Russell Wilson and Sean Payton. You know what I mean? I did expect a little bit more from Sean Payton, but Commanders, no shade. Don't mark that game next week as an automatic win. I think Denver can cause the Washington Commanders a lot of problems next week, especially with that stout secondary. You know what I mean? Definitely, you know, Sam Howell is his second game as a starter, first game and, you know, first game of the season. Might have been some jitters. He took some big hits yesterday, you know, which I think to me is concerning, but a lot of people saying there's no big deal, but I think it's concerning that some of the shots he was taking and the way he was turning up the field when he was on those scrambles. But however, they did enough to get it done. The defense looked stout as usual. Montez Sweat and Deron Payne. Deron Payne may be, listen, it may be an argument for you the best D tackle in the game. Oh, hold on, my bad. My bad, Aaron Donald, my bad. One of the best D tackles in the game. Deron Payne he's always been solid, always been a formidable foe, always been tough to go out, and he definitely made his mark yesterday. Him and Montez Sweat and that front definitely saved the game. You know what I mean? You know, like I said, Dobbs, he is what he is, but like I said, their defense was able to overcome. But like I said, Sam Howell going to have to clean up the mistakes and clean up some of the things he did yesterday because, like I said, coming to your house or the team you play next week definitely has a stout pass rush. But behind that pass rush, they have a very good secondary with Surtain and them guys. So don't mark that game down as an easy win next week. You know what I mean? So definitely that's a game to to keep your eye on right now. I'm not saying who won't win, who not, but it's just saying it's a formidable game. You know what I mean? Philly. Like we talked about Philly already. Matthew Stafford showed that he wasn't ready to hang it up yesterday as they went out there because Seattle was the favorite. They were the team in the playoffs and they was without Cooper Kupp. But they was able to go out there, shut Seattle down and do what they got to do and say that they still here. People just wipe past them and look past them, but people forget they did win the Super Bowl year before last. So what they saying is we still here. They stay because they was able to go out there, had the run game look good. Matthew Stafford threw for 334. They did what they had to do to go ahead and get the dub. And now, who knows? Definitely the 49ers, definitely team is still a team in that division, but we got to see what happened with the Rams. You know what I mean? The Rams saying they looking to put up a fight. And speaking of the 49ers, like I said, they was the top teams in the NFC. Definitely were dominant. Except Philly. Philly had a close call. Philly had a close call, but at the end of the day, they're big stars, they're big players. The Fletcher Coxes of the world, the Brandon Grahams of the world, the AJ Browns of the world was able to make enough plays to get it done. But let people know that New England ain't gonna be like last year. New England looking to definitely let people know that when you play them, or maybe it was the fact that Tom Brady was in the building, it was the GOAT day. Maybe the GOAT day, maybe the spirit of Tom Brady made them play their play. But we'll see. And now let's go to Krispy Kreme. Last night, for those that stayed up, Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley and Darren Waller and all of them had the worst games of their careers. Cowboys went out there and completely dominated and destroyed the New York Giants 40-0 in the opener. Like I said, there's only one game. It's only one game. And, the stern test for the Cowboys next week is when the Aaron Rodgers and that New York Jets team that people say was a quarterback away last year come down to Dallas for the home opener. And then from that game, of course, you still got a long season to go, but you can get a real good gauge because that's going to be a real chess match and a real test for both of those teams on both sides of the ball. You know what I mean? It's always a chess match going against Aaron Rodgers and the weapons he got with Dalvin Cook, Bryce Hall, and then the rest of the guys that he got to deal with. And then also on the flip side of that, what Micah and the Marauders and all of them will do. So hey, that's going to be the game next week for first. But first, New York got to get through Buffalo tonight. So we'll get a snapshot of how the Jets look. But then again, like I said, the game next week against them and the Cowboys is going to be a game. It's going to be an all-out slugfest. Matter of fact, let's look at next week's schedule. We're gonna look at next week's schedule to see these matchups and see how this thing play out. Week 2. Let's see what week 2 matchups. Atlanta and Green Bay. That's a tough one. Because Atlanta did get it done against Carolina. It was Carolina, and then Green Bay got it done, but it was Chicago. So it's at Atlanta. I'm gonna go with Green Bay, but it could go either way. Buffalo and the Raiders. Give me Buffalo. Woo! Cincinnati got Baltimore. Baltimore 2-0. Cincinnati starts 0-2 again. Seattle and Detroit. Going with Detroit. Seattle starts 0-2. So we got Seattle at 0-2. We got Cincy at 0-2. The Chargers and Tennessee. That's a good game, but I'm gonna go with Tennessee. I'm gonna go with Tennessee at home. Tampa Bay at Chicago. I'm gonna go with Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay gonna go 2-0. Jacksonville and Kansas City. That's going to come down to whether or not Travis Kelce is playing. That's going to come down to whether or not Travis Kelce is playing. If Travis Kelce is not playing, I am going with the Jacksonville Jaguars. See, a lot of these teams that's banged up early, like Cincinnati and Kansas City and all that, they're catching these tough matchups early. And they're fully, don't get me wrong. Kansas City and both Cincinnati are capable of coming out the hole and definitely capable of making runs. Their track record speaks for itself, but definitely Kansas City, but definitely they definitely could be looking at an 0-2 start. Indianapolis look at this. The Rams play the 49ers. Give me the 49ers. Give me the 49ers. They've had their way with the Rams in the last couple of years. I think they swept them. They swept them like 2 years in a row. Even though we know the Rams found a way to steal that game to get to the Super Bowl. But like I said, the 49ers have had their way. So the Giants and Arizona. I got the Giants bouncing back. But what a game. Cowboys and the Jets, I'm going with the Cowboys. Going with the Cowboys. Washington and Denver, I ain't going to hold y'all because I'm going with Denver. I got Denver pulling it off. And you go on to Mile High Stadium, the altitude up there. They got a defense, and they got a nice second. I'm going with Denver on that one. Miami and New England. Miami. New England start 0-2. They got 2 Monday Night Football games next week. So we got Cleveland and Pittsburgh, Cleveland. Cleveland go 2-0. New Orleans and Carolina go 2-0. So definitely. Like I said, but like I said, it's a nice matchup next week, nice matchup today. But like I said, right now, it looked like the elite teams of last year. It depends on, and it also depends on what happened tonight with Buffalo. But right now, the elite teams are the AFC, the KFC, the Kansas Cities of the world, and Cincinnati's of the world may be off to a rough start due to injuries and Russ and and other things. But they might be digging themselves out of hole this year. Might be digging themselves out of hole, even though Kansas City's division. It's a little bit more easy. The sled is a little more easy. Not that the teams are easier, but just the way these teams are coming out. Because, like I said, the Chargers lost yesterday. The Raiders, they'll catch the Raiders. They ain't not scared of the Raiders. And Denver already 0-1. So they might be able to hang around and do what they got to do to pull that off at the end. But Cincinnati's problem is Cleveland and Baltimore are definitely way more formidable and way more better than they was last year. And they're going to be much, much tougher to deal with. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Also, in the world of MMA, over the weekend, shocking upset, Izzy Adesanya lost. Yeah, what? What did that mean? Talk to me. What did that mean? Yeah. You know what I mean? Are you talking about what I said about Baltimore and Cleveland? What part are we yeah about? But while we wait on that, like I said, Izzy lost in a fight that, he kind of was on his back foot the whole fight. The guy was being aggressive and kind of was able to just keep him. He just kept him from being able to step forward and put any kind of real serious offense on the other guy. And that's what kind of, I'm just, okay. I just want to know what's going on. I mean, I just want to know what's going on. What team stood out the most to you yesterday? Frank looking crazy out here. Not to me. I'm going to be honest. When it comes to the Frank situation, matter of fact, where you at? Okay, today should be all about football. Okay. I mean, I got to touch on, but hold on. I know it's all about football, but as we know, we cover boxing heavy, and I got to touch on the Shakur Stevenson Frank Martin situation because, over the weekend, for the boxing fans out there, Shakur Stevenson and Frank Martin. We thought we had an agreed fight, but it looked like Frank reconsidered, or Frank's team reconsidered and decided to go another route. Now they say it's a speculation he could be fighting Tank next, and everybody's saying it's a duck. But here's my issue with that, Smoke. Here's my issue with that. If we let all these other fighters get away with the situation with Shakur, why are we nailing Frank to the wall? And what I'm saying is this: I don't know the specifics of the situation, but it did seem kind of nothing against Shakur. What I'm saying is, is it me or did they have them guys fighting on a Thursday night? On a Thursday night during NFL season? On the same night that the Baltimore Ravens are playing the Cincinnati Bengals late in the season in a you know what I'm saying, in a meaningful game. What's the logic in that? Because they don't want to go up against a stock car race. He not fighting Tank. I don't know. He said something lately that kind of looked like it got on the. They may have used this clip to spin the wheels, but he said something about when he sparred Tank and he hurt Tank and all that. Tank responded. So I guess that's what people talking about. But at the end of the day, I mean, if we want to call it a duck, okay, cool. I ain't mad at them though. They made a business decision. I'm not mad at them because many people thought it was a mismatch to begin with, or was a fight that he wasn't ready for, or however you want to say it. We all know how we view Shakur Stevenson. You know what I'm saying? But back to the script, had to get that off. You know what I mean? But right now, thanks to the Dallas Cowboys, I won both my fantasy games yesterday. Thank you. That defense got me big points, bailed me straight out. You know what I mean? Take that and rewind it back, Darius. But that was right now. Like I said, right now the AFC look like it's really up for grabs. But I mean, it's only week one. I'm just saying the teams that was the cream of the crop last year look like they're going to start off a little tough. Coach said he's not fighting Tank. Oh, okay. I mean, listen. I know. Hey, I know you connected out there, bruh. I know we connected out there. For those that don't know, man, my brother Smoke With Me TV. We do a lot of interviews and videos together. You know what I mean? We got a lot of stuff coming up very, very soon. You know what I mean? Shout out to Bowie State University, which I will be at Bowie State University tomorrow. You know what I mean? And we're going to be doing I'm going to be doing a lot of work with Bowie State University in the next year. At least the next 6 months to a year. I'm going to be doing a lot of work with Bowie State University. So shout out to Bowie State University. Shout out to Professor Joseph Spears, you know what I mean, for, blessing me with this great opportunity. And I will expound on that a lot more soon. But you know what I'm saying? But like I said, let's talk sports, y'all. We'll be doing a lot of work with Bowie State University. You know what I mean? And that also means you're going to see a lot more me, my man Smoke With Me TV, and all the guys that roll with me, Poppy Chulo, Black Eye Media. You know what I mean? You're going to see a lot more of us doing a lot of different things, a lot of big things this year. You know what I mean? As we grow these media outlets and the things that we do. You know what I mean? By the name. And then for those that tap in, tell me, what do you feel like? Tell me the best times, for a sports show to be on, the best topics, you know what I mean? Start leaving your opinions, the things we can do to, learn you and build upon the content of these platforms. You know what I mean? Let us hear from you. You know what I mean? I know nothing about the fantasy league, but I'm gonna put my bread with you. Okay. I got you. Man, you gotta get into it, man. Listen, man. It's not as hard as it seems. You know what I mean? But you just gotta know. You definitely got. I ain't gonna lie. You definitely got to know the blessings for your platform in 22. Where you been at, man? Where you been at? What's up, man? What's been up, man? How you been, man? How's everything with you, my brother Mike 202, man? You know what I mean? We got to get up, bro. You know what I mean? Shout out to you and all you do. Wishing you all the best in what you do as well. But talk to me, my bros. You know what I mean? So that's what we're looking to do. We're looking to turn these things in there to give people the content they really need and to get some of these. Now we not trying to get nobody nothing, but we want to be able to give people what they want to see instead of have to look, turn on your your platforms and see a whole bunch of unnecessary buffoonery and nonsense. You know what I mean? We want to give you good, clean, salient content. So shout out to my people at Black Eye Media Room. Shout out to the Next to Flex podcast. They got another show coming up this Saturday, September 16th. Tap into that. Miss Treese. Also, my man Young Bout That. Talk Yo and all that. So we're gonna keep it popping, man. And I'll be back at y'all probably tomorrow. I'll be back at y'all tomorrow, and then I'll be back at y'all Friday as we keep this thing popping. But like I said, shout out to Bowie State University. I will be live at Bowie State University tomorrow at about 10:30. You know what I mean? So appreciate everybody for tapping in, man. Not gonna be here with you long, man. Peace and God bless.